Hey Shackers, welcome back to This Week in Switch 2. I'm your host, Asif Khan. I don't have my light on. Does it matter? Should I turn on my light?
That looks
Turn it
decent.
on. Yeah, you do look decent, but let's see how you look with it on.
Hey, hold on.
We're keeping this. This stays in.
God damn it. Before and after. But yeah, look at me now. I look better now.
Okay, yeah. Awesome.
God damn it. We're not leaving this in.
No, why not? Put
Because,
yourself out there.
no.
Okay.
Anyway. In fact, I'm going to stop recording. No, I'll leave it in. Well, anyway, hey Shackers, welcome back to This Week in Switch 2. I'm your host, Awesome Count. I'm CEO, Editor-in-Chief, EIEIO here at Shacknews. That stands for Extremely Intelligent, Extreme Intelligence Officer, except when I forget to turn on my light. I'm joined by my co-hosts who have switched locations again on me with Head of Long Reads, David Craddock here, and Pokemaster.
Yeah.
And then, yes, our news editor, Donovan Erskine's here.
What's up?
You played Metroid Prime 4 Beyond for review. We're going to jump into that very shortly.
Sure.
But first, guys, there's only 30 days left in Doug Bowser's reign of terror at Nintendo of America.
Time's
down
flying.
there.
This is the
Yeah.
final month. It's
That's
December.
This is like, we're officially in like that episode of 24. I know 24 only takes place in a day, but like, it's like Doug Bowser's last month. Where it's like, doot, 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 every day for him. Doug, time's running out, man. Gotta announce Rad Racer for Nintendo Switch Online, or else Steve Tominski will be sad. I mean, he's sad every week. But yeah, we're waiting, Doug. What are you gonna do? We're gonna get an address. We're gonna get that Shacknews exclusive interview we've been asking for. What's gonna happen here? Are we?
Do you think he's doing the like CEO or not CEO, but president equivalent of a like the QB Neil? You ever see those tweets where people are like, "Oh, it's a 3-day work week," and it's just the QB Neil, like putting in minimal effort, just like I'm getting out of here. I'm on my way out the door already.
So like he's in a perpetual Thanksgiving week kind of situation.
Yeah,
Or
pretty
like
much.
it's like a Good Friday situation, or I don't know, whatever else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Like he's whatever the equivalent of Nintendo of America senioritis is. Yeah,
Yeah.
he already got into college. You know, he already got his pension is vested. Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
I like to think he's still working. You know,
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
he tweeted this weekend. I don't know if you saw.
Oh, wow.
He tweeted a kind of creepy image of that Mario blimp,
Yeah.
really up close, in like a dark alleyway or whatever that they had that thing stored at.
Yeah,
Oh, I saw
he
that.
was in like the warehouse where they keep Mario
Yeah,
strapped down before the Macy's parade. Mario had a great showing at the Thanksgiving Day parade.
he
They
did.
played the Galaxy music, and yeah, they played the Galaxy music. I apologize if Discord just came through there. And they mentioned the Galaxy movie, David. They were like, the Mario Galaxy movie comes out in April and all that good stuff. You know, like how
I saw it. I saw it. Yeah.
yeah, that was much promo was done.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see. But yeah, he tweeted a picture. Yeah, prolific tweeter during his time at Nintendo of America.
Yeah.
So I imagine his goodbye will be a tweet.
I think so. That would fit.
Maybe we'll just do a tweet montage to send him off. I don't know. We'll have to do something. December 31st. We'll have to, maybe we'll exclusively post it to Twitter since he was so active on Twitter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Doug Bowser timeline, like everything that came out on his watch.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that might be kind of cool to see.
Like I said last episode, he shipped F-Zero 99, so he's A-okay in my book. But once again, not credited in that game.
No.
Don, speaking of credits being rolled, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, you have played this game for review at Shacknews on the Nintendo Switch 2 entertainment system. What do you think?
I have. And after playing through Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, after previewing it last month, Everything I suspected about the game is true. It's awesome. I enjoy this game a lot. It is, to me, in many ways, like the quintessential Switch 2 game. I kind of said it in my preview, but I can expand on it now, where like it's probably in competition with Mario Kart World as like just the best looking Switch 2 game. I had to keep reminding myself that the thing's also on like a Switch 1 while I was playing it because holy shit, that game is beautiful. Now that I was able to like sit down with it on like a TV in my apartment, a controlled environment, and look at it, it's gorgeous, man. And it doesn't matter if you're in quality mode or performance mode, 4K, 1080, whatever. Looks great. The foliage, there's like a jungle level that you start off on, just gorgeous. But even as you're like riding through the desert, man, and like the sky, the clouds, the sand dunes, whatnot, as you drive over them, it is a very, very beautiful looking video game. Also controls like a dream. Um, I finally got to go hands on with Viola. That was like the big thing that I didn't get to do during my preview,
Yeah.
which was almost like deliberate. During the preview, they didn't let us drive Viola around, just like the motorcycle you get. Um, Controls very well. I was worried about that because I was like, these aren't games where you're doing a lot of like driving and piloting stuff. So I was worried that it was going to feel like I was driving around like a tank in Battlefield or something, but it feels great. Obviously, it's a Switch, so you get like that rumble and the vibration as like your tires roll over like different terrain and stuff. But I thought the controls are really intuitive. They do this thing with Viola where like you have to use it to get in and out of a lot of major areas. So you'll like drive up to like a track and there'll be like little grooves for the wheels and you'll kind of park it there, but then you have to like slam on the acceleration and you watch the speedometer go up as like gears turn, like a drawbridge comes down, and then as soon as it opens, Samus like shoots off towards the destination. Very cool. It's very like Fast and the Furious sort of style. You can fight with it. Not a lot of fighting, but whenever you're like driving between the big location areas, random monsters or like robots and stuff will just like drive up next to you or fly over you, and you've got to like shoot them down with like your plasma or psychic cannon, whatever the hell they call it. But I thought it was great. You do use it a lot, and it reminded me of, to reference a franchise we've been talking about a lot on this show, Pokemon, where like in Pokemon, you'd always get the bike and you could use it everywhere except the places you couldn't. Like you'd get like a little message that was like, no, not here, not right now, you can't do it when you try to like summon it inside. Viola's the same way. Or like some areas, it's like, yeah, like race through the corridors with the bicycle and get to the other towers quickly. And then sometimes you'll try to do it and it'll just be like, nope, can't do it right now. Or there'll be like, what do you call those little like poles they put in the ground, like in city streets, like stop people from turning down roads they don't want you to
Stanchions.
go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got like those in certain areas that'll like block off, so you can't drive the bike like over a bridge or on a road or whatnot.
Okay.
But it's good. They've got like there's like an Akira slide you can do pretty much whenever you like boost and then hit the button again and you turn on the side and it shoots out like an attack while you slide, which I thought was pretty fun.
Oh,
Um,
so
yeah,
that's not a cutscene. That's like actually a gameplay mechanic.
yeah, no, you straight up do it. You boost and then while boosting you hit B again and like turn the analog stick and watching they don't you don't even lose speed when you do it. The bike turns on its side like Akira style, and you get like a little psychic energy that pushes out if you were like driving into something,
Okay.
um, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked it. The bike itself, I had no problems with. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think of it once you get to drive it around because it is pretty like important to gameplay. It's not like a attack on thing. You will need to drive this thing a lot. You can summon it instantly, which I thought was pretty cool. Um, I will say the area you use it in the most is like sort of an open zone on Vuros, which is the planet you're on. It's like essentially a desert planet in between the locations, right? So there's like Fury Green, which was the jungle forest you start off in. There's like the Zap Forge, which is this like mechanical tower or series of towers that's like under this thunderstorm. There's a volcano area, but like they're all connected by this very large open desert, which was kind of like a little boring to drive through. There's just not much to see. You get like random enemies that'll pop up at you. There are like these crash sites where like Galactic Federation like ships and cargo like crash, and you go explore them, and you'll find like little puzzles. You can get like a missile expansion or energy tanks or like the crystals. Um, and then there are these little shrine areas, actual shrines where you go down, and then there's like a little puzzle. You got to use your psychic energy or nodes to like manipulate the environment or fight like a little enemy. And then again, there'll be more like optional upgrades and stuff that you can get. But outside of those, I kind of got tired of driving between point to point because it's Metroid. So I mean, you can't just open up the map and be like, all right, fast travel back to Fury Green. You've got to like get into Viola and like drive across the desert back to the other side of the map. And I did. I got to a point where I was like, oh god damn it, I got to go back across to that place because there might be a thing there I need to check. And that was a little annoying. They also do like there's like these interstitial cutscenes you get like when you drive to a location I mentioned earlier where like Samus will like zoom into an area once you like open it up. It'll like this little cutscene. Sometimes it'll be like 5, 10 seconds of her just like driving down a bridge or like running down an alleyway as you get into an area. And you just can't skip those. And some places do them when you enter and leave, which again I like. I just found myself naturally after seeing it for, like the third time hitting like the A button or the plus button trying to skip past it and you couldn't. I'm like, all right, whatever.
You know what that reminds me of, David? Is the elevator in Metroid Dread.
Oh yeah, yeah. I could see that.
I got real sick of the elevator in that game, Donovan, so I can feel your pain. You mentioned
Yeah.
shrines, and I my ears perked up because how many shrines are we talking here? Because when you say shrines, I think Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, 120, right, or however many.
Yeah. No, they're much. There's far fewer. Maybe like I don't know if there's even 10. There's
Oh,
not many. There's
okay.
like a small few on the map that you see, and they're like they all kind of tie back to this alien civilization that's on the planet because this is like a running thing in the story that they're the Lamorn were like these aliens that lived on Vuros that just aren't there anymore, and that's kind of part of the mystery of the game. And they've got like these statues that you kind of communicate with, and Samus gets these psychic powers that they grant her, and the shrines kind of like tie into that. A lot of lore. Uh,
Okay.
I believe Nintendo last week put out I don't know if they were doing an interview or something, but they said that this is kind of like the end of a story arc and beginning of a new one for Metroid Prime. So it's Metroid Prime 4, but you're not doing like the phase on and whatever was going on in 1, 2, 3. This is like you're now on a new planet, you've got this new alien race you're contending with, and kind of figuring out their mystery intertwines with you trying to figure out how to get Samus off this planet. And the shrines tie into that. You're constantly finding like all their old technology. Viola is a thing that they created. Um, and I thought that was good. I can say Silux is in the game. They've promoted that as one of like the enemies. His presence alone kind of begs some questions. I think that the combat in this game was one of my favorite aspects, but not the combat, not just the combat, but specifically the boss fights. The boss fights are so good in Metroid Prime 4. It is such a like strong juxtaposition. I was just telling David from when I reviewed Donkey Kong, and I was like, this game is so fun, but the boss fights were so ridiculously easy that it was almost boring to a point. But Metroid's the opposite. So fun, so challenging. I played through on normal during my review playthrough, and after like the first 2 or 3 bosses, I was dying like 1 or 2 times at least on a lot of those bosses my first way through. They're tough. It was brutal. The game just does a great job of like forcing you to weave together all of Samus's different abilities. I have like a blip in my review where I talk about how like I was fighting one enemy and I'm like shooting at it, dropping into a morph ball to like dodge like a laser that's cutting through, jumping back out of it, firing missiles. You have like your the arm cannons you can charge up to send out a blast with. There's a one boss fight where like you have to drop into the morph ball and you like ping pong around, trying to like place bombs for it in anticipation. It's just very cool ways that they incorporate all of her abilities into the boss fights, and obviously it's classic like pattern recognition and whatnot. But just like fast-paced, frenetic battles, they're cool, and all the boss designs are really fun.
I mean, that's two things you said there. Like, one, that it's a self-contained story. Like, that seems
Mhm.
Metroid to me, David. Like, I don't
Mhm.
like I don't care if there's any continuity with the other games because it's usually Samus stranded on some place, gets Samus out of the place, right? Uh,
Yeah, I feel like the only games that had any continuity were one, two, and Super, because like Super referenced two and then
yeah,
two referenced one, but otherwise like these could all be standalone games. You don't
yeah,
have to have played Metroid Prime 1, 2, or 3 to play 4. It sounds like
yeah,
anyway.
and that's cool. But also this the emphasis on boss fights. I think when
Mhm.
I think about great boss fights, yeah, Metroid Dread had excellent boss fights. Super Metroid had great boss fights. Obviously, there's like the speedrun strats, right? I'm sure you haven't run into those, Donovan, but like there's gonna be like an insane speedrun for this game most likely, right?
Dude, I can't wait to see it. It's interesting because after you do like the first couple levels and you get like the motorcycle and they open up the world. There's even like a line of dialogue I think where like Miles McKenzie or somebody is like explore like at your lead, like go wherever you want. Which kind of implies that you can like do everything in whatever order you want, which isn't entirely true because I tried to go like out to like this really distant area and then it was like you don't have the ability to like cross this gap to go into the area. And I was like, all right, I'll come back later. But I'm very curious to see how far people can push the limits of that like open zone sort of world because I did a lot of like backtracking and trying to figure out what the hell I was supposed to be doing. But once people like figure out the game and dig into like the weeds there, I think it's going to be pretty nutty.
That's one thing I was
Yeah.
wondering. Like that's classic Metroid, right? They gate off areas behind abilities. Is there still a lot of that, like going back, searching for E-tanks, searching for missile upgrades, that sort of thing?
Oh yeah, definitely. Missile upgrades are everywhere. You'll often see them like hidden like behind structures or like gates or doors or up on like a ceiling and it's like, oh, how do I get up there? Um, Energy tank as well as you're upgrading. Samus is like her health through the energy tanks and enemies will drop like your replenishments and stuff.
Mm,
Um, yeah, that stuff's everywhere.
cool.
And there's obviously the thing where like you'll be going through a level and you'll see one and it's like obviously I don't have the ability. It's going to be in the next area. I'll have to remember and come back here and get that, which is always felt rewarding, when you remembered to actually do it. Um,
Mm.
which I thought was pretty good. I do want to talk a little bit more about Miles McKenzie, who we mentioned pretty heavily during our preview section of the game. Again, after playing through the game now, I think it's so fascinating the chunk they let us play for the preview because I think that section of the game in a vacuum would lead you to believe that Miles McKenzie was like attached at Samus's hip for Metroid Prime 4. But the way it actually goes is you save him, he accompanies you back to like your HQ in the area you save him. And then he's just there for most of the game, and you don't really see him. He'll come over like the radio when you finish a mission and be like, "Wow, I didn't know blah blah blah. You should check this place out." Um, but that's kind of mostly it. Like you can go back and visit him, and he'll give you like updates on what he's doing. But he's not like this AI companion that's like following you around, going down, running in and shooting enemies and stuff. He's more so just like a voice in your helmet for the majority of the game, and he has like his quips and stuff, but he isn't all that like pervasive, I guess would be the term. I don't know.
He
From
didn't
that,
ruin the game.
no, he did not. He didn't ruin the game. But for what's worth, I didn't mind him even in the preview, which
Yeah.
people had was where people had issue with him. But yeah,
So are you saying the internet may have overreacted, Donovan?
there's a chance. There's a chance that there may have been some overreactions. I
I
think
am
to
shocked
engineer
and
Miles McKenzie.
dismayed, sir, at this news. This
Yeah,
shocking news that the internet may have overreacted in the interest of generating Twitter bucks and views on YouTube. That never
yeah,
happens on this current internet.
right. And they do have a thing where you can like pull up your visor and hit X to like pull up the radio,
And shut
which
him
will
up.
like call him. Yeah, you'll call him and then he'll be like, "Oh, have you tried going to check out the volcano yet?" Or like he'll kind of like nudge you towards what you should be doing next. And there's some areas you can't even do it. Like if you're like deep in a facility, you can't even bring up the radio and talk to him if you wanted to. But
Oh darn.
yeah, I think he's only a smaller part of that game.
Nice. Um so back to the gameplay. When you're
Mhm.
not fighting bosses, how
Yeah.
is the how's the balance between like fighting regular enemies and like the scanning and puzzle stuff that you have to do?
Yeah, it's funny because after my preview, like reading reactions to it, I saw a lot of people talking about how like it's very Metroid Prime to be constantly in the scanner all the time, which is true in Prime 4, of course. You have like your codex where it tracks everything you have scanned and you get like a percentage completion thing. So I can only imagine going for 100% in this game. You're gonna have to just like meticulously go through and scan every single object down to like the crates and random levers and stuff on the walls. There's a good balance. Most of each area has like unique enemies that you only really find there. Like there's a tower where all the enemies are like these robotic creatures that like crawl around and shoot lasers at you. The jungle's got more like actual alien animals that'll like chase you around and swipe at you. Um, there's a winter like cold area where you've got like these frozen little bugs that scurry around. The lava area had these weird. I don't know what you'd call them. These creatures that crawl around, but they like explode. They'll like get close to you and like blow up and
Mhm.
deal a bunch of damage to you. Easy to get overwhelmed by those. I was trying to figure out like what triggers the respawns because a lot of times I would go through an area, leave to check something else or retrace my steps, come through. They'd all be back,
Oh yeah.
and you've got to got to go through them again. Obviously you can't fast travel, so I couldn't tell if it was like when you load out or just maybe whenever you like see that cutscene to leave an area. I think everything repopulates inside of it.
There's
Um,
no like blood moon rising mechanic.
no, yeah, they don't really tell you. There's no cue, or
Yeah,
clue that like things are coming back.
I don't know, like, because I think about like in Hollow Knight Silk Song, David. It's pretty much when you leave a screen and come back to it, right? There,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So I think most Metroid Vanias and Metroid games have a
Yeah.
similar kind of thing going on. At least it's not like Donkey Kong Bonanza where I look to the left and then I look to the right and they're freaking back.
Yeah, no, it's not that egregious. If you kill enemies in an area and stay in that area, it'll remain empty as long as you're there.
Yeah.
Save points, obviously, is a Metroid game. Save points are very important. You get your little like rooms where you go into the pod. You say it asks you want to save your progress. You get everything back, missiles, energy. I had one level that I got to like a tower, maybe saved and then played for like 40 minutes and then died at the bottom of it and
Ooh.
lost like 40 minutes of progress just super casually, which was brutal. Uh, but yeah, you got to be very careful. But that was my fault. It was like I had got stumped on a platforming like segment, and I just did the thing where you get frustrated and try to like brute force your way through it, where it's obviously not how you're supposed to do it, and I just died, and got reset nearly an hour back. But
So like when
yeah,
you're playing the game for review, you kind of have to go as fast as possible. We don't have an unlimited amount of time to hit these embargoes and stuff.
no.
Do you think there was stuff that you may have missed, just like secrets and stuff that are like kind of like side things?
Yes, there were at least a couple shrines that I couldn't figure out. Like the first time I went to through them, I did all the tinkering. I tried my abilities. I moved shit around. I tried to shoot and blow things up, and I sat there for a while and couldn't figure it out. I was like, all right, I got to get going. Um, and some I came back to, and some I didn't because I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do there. So there's
Hmm.
some of those. The ones that really frustrated me were the upgrades, like where I could see like the little missile upgrade things behind like a door or
Oh
something, and I
yeah,
couldn't get to them. Yeah,
that's
there
very
a handful
Metroid
of those
right
I
there
missed.
too.
Hmm. Yeah,
uh,
there are a few of those that I missed. I didn't feel like there were any like major like areas though, or like
mhm.
gated sections that I just completely bypassed.
No, I was talking about what you just mentioned, like
Yeah.
those like hit the missile upgrades and like that's a very Metroid thing. So I love that
Mhm.
they like put that carrot in front of you and you're like, God damn it. Uh,
They do.
that
Yeah.
that's good Metroid right there.
It they do a good job of kind of like almost teasing you with like the scanner because you'll like pull up and it'll be like a lava waterfall or whatever. Like it'll be falling over like an entrance to a cave or something. You'll scan it and it'll be like, oh, super hot molten lava, blah blah blah, blocking a path. Like maybe if you could cool it down, it'll stop. And it's stuff like that, right? Or there'll be a little machine piece that like the morph ball fits into, and it's like, ah, maybe a concussive blast would give this thing like the jolt of energy it needs to start working again. And then even like in boss fights, which I thought was very cool, very like cinematic, because when you use the scanner, time slows down, and then when you finish scanning, it freezes. So like in a boss battle, can't figure out what's going on, you pull up the scanner, time freezes, you look at the thing and you read its whole description, and it's like, oh, it has these tentacles that blow up when you shoot them on the like bulbous parts, giving you like keys to beat battles and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool.
I'm
So,
wondering how the motorcycle will compare to the dragon in Doom because there seems to be some analog there. Like you fly the dragon in Doom, but only in certain levels. It's not like you can just jump on the dragon anytime and fly to locations. Whereas in this, it
Mhm.
sounds like you can summon Viola whenever you want, or
Yeah,
well, in most cases, right? Like you
in
don't
most
have to
cases, yeah.
specify.
Yeah, you can summon it in a lot of cases. There are areas that are like specifically designed for it. There's one location where like it's broken up into smaller like towers, and to get between them, you have to like ride Viola through. You could run, but it would probably take you like 3 or 4 minutes of real time walking to get between them all. Um, but you drive Viola around, and there's even like little tracks where you can do challenges where it's like, all right, finish a lap in like 90 seconds. Or like you're
Mm.
driving around and you've got to like shoot a bunch of enemies in like
d-
a time limit.
a race?
Yeah, I guess I mean it's more so just showing you how to like use it, but yeah, it is like a time trial where they straight up are like, yeah, you got to do this in 90 seconds, go around the thing. kind of giving you the hang of the controls.
Maybe Samus could get an island in Mario Kart World and bring Viola with her.
That
Yeah.
would be cool if they just put Viola and Samus in like a potential Mario Kart World expansion. That'd be great. I love that they give you like the speedometer because that thing moves fast. It doesn't say if it's like I don't know if they give you a unit because it doesn't say like miles per hours or kilometers. It's just like 300, 400, 500. Uh, but that thing zooms around. Um, yeah,
Speaking of
that'd be interesting.
zooming, this is I think a good transition to this question. This game can run at 120 FPS in
Yes.
1080p docked and 720p 120 FPS in handheld, and
Yeah.
obviously in fidelity mode it's 4K 60.
Mhm.
I think in handheld it's 1080p 60. Did you try out both modes? And what did you
Yeah.
think?
Yes, I think I did a pretty good job of like breaking up my entire playthrough into like each different like way to play, both like display but also input because like mouse mode pro controller. But yeah, I did a good amount. Like my main TV in my living room is like it's like a nicer 4K TV. I did that. I put it in quality mode, pushed it to performance, and then I played a bunch in handheld, which was very good. Again, I know I'm like the handheld defender on the show here, but I thought it ran really well in handheld. It's a battery destroyer, of course, as I think most AAA video games are going to be on the Switch 2 in handheld. But usually I didn't mind like on the Switch 1, I didn't really care much about games running in whatever the weird like handheld resolution was.
Yeah.
I will say it's a little noticeable when you go from like 4K fidelity on a TV to 720 performance on like a handheld. It is a little noticeable. Um, but I thought the game ran like a dream. No stutters that I could recall out that nothing notable. There were no like Donkey Kong Bonanza moments where I was like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
playing through it, and that was in docked handheld quality fidelity or quality performance mode. Um, didn't matter. But it's funny, whenever games have like a quality and performance mode, I'd say 95% of the time I just play in performance mode. I just want all the frames. I want all the like smooth motion and whatnot. I did have like a couple sequences where I was playing this thing in quality mode on my TV, just because maybe I think the 60 frames per second look beautiful. It's a Nintendo game, so I don't know. Maybe there's like a subconscious thing where I'm like, this is already running faster than I ever thought it would on this device, and it just looks beautiful. So many cool like particle effects and textures and stuff, and the lighting looks great. But yeah, it runs like a dream. It will do a thing where like depending on your display, you'll have to know like your TV or monitor or whatever. It can like refuse to go into performance mode. I tried to put it on like the TV in my office, and I went to do performance mode, and it was like yeah, performance mode's either like unsupported or disabled, so we're just gonna run this in quality mode anyway. I think it was because like the hertz on the other
Yeah.
TV I have in here.
Yeah,
So something to
if
be
you
aware
don't
of.
have a 120 hertz display, it's not
Yeah.
going to be able to run it at 120 FPS. That makes sense,
Mhm.
and it probably doesn't
Yeah.
support like 90 or whatever. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
hmm And
Uh,
you'll also might have to tinker in your actual Switch display settings as well, because you can control that hertz output there.
HDR and stuff. Yeah, and they've added
hmm
some more settings to that in recent months.
Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah,
Um, what controls did you use, Donovan? Did you try the mouse at all, or did you mostly use the Pro controller?
I mostly did Pro Controller, but I did do a good amount of mouse controls. Mouse controls are very fun. I like them a lot. I did. I played my entire preview on mouse controls as I shared on that episode. But it's one of those things where it is niche. You need like the perfectly comfortable setup for you. I feel like the way that the average person plays console games, it might not be that intuitive to use mouse mode. But if you've got like a table in front of you and like a mouse pad or something, it feels like natural using that Joy-Con as a mouse. There's that initial awkwardness of like the Joy-Con is not shaped like a traditional mouse. Traditional mice do not have face buttons and an analog stick on the side of them. But like the actual just locomotion of sliding it around and using the trigger to fire, use gunfire and missiles and stuff, it feels natural. And as somebody who at this point I exclusively play any shooter game on a PC, it felt better than analog controls or using like the Pro controller. Although they do have like an aim assist sort of thing where you can like aim in and auto target enemies. Um, it feels good. And then even like in tabletop, if you just prop it up and then you've got the mice either like off to the sides or whatnot, it feels very good. I will say, make sure you've got the right surface. If you try to like use it on like a weird like a hard surface or like your pants or whatnot, you might get like some weird motion things where like cursor like skip and whatnot, which probably fine in most games, not so much in like a first person shooter. So you do want to have like a perfect setup for it, I think. But it's good. I like mouse mode in this
That's
game.
gonna be
Honestly,
it's gonna be
probably only
weird
game I
on a
use it.
couch. Is basically what I'm hearing,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's
yeah,
problematic because like most people are gonna play their Switch docked on a television, right? Like
yeah.
now I know some people have their dock set up where they can play it on a computer monitor too. So this is one of those
Mhm.
situations where if you do have it in on a computer monitor, well, this can this is where it really kind of acts like a PC, Diamond. Like it's like
Yeah.
yeah, here you go. And did you try like that was the holy shit moment for me at the April event when I was playing it 1080p docked with a perfect mouse pad setup, right? And I was just like, oh my
Yeah.
god, this is the best performing Nintendo game I've ever played. Like
Yeah.
it is fast as hell, 120 FPS, but at the same time at 120 or sorry, at 180 1080p, it
Yeah.
didn't look bad at all. Like Nintendo
No.
art is
No. No.
outstanding. So it's like when you have that kind of the graphic fidelity and the art style that they employ in a lot of their games, 1080p is not the end of the world, especially when you can play at 120 hertz. So, did you find yourself? So it was like you were jumping between the two, but like, which did you prefer, 4K or 1080p?
I ended up still doing the majority of it in performance mode,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean that 4K is beautiful. It is gorgeous. That is one of the. It might be the best looking Nintendo game I've played. I got to go back and give kick the tires on cart, pun intended, a couple more times. But performance wise, flawless. I again, the people at Nintendo are smarter than me. This game's coming out when it is for a reason. But I'm like, this is like the one that feels very next gen. If I didn't know any better, I would not know that it was developed originally for the first Switch and that it's a like the straddled release sort of thing. Because yeah, it is to me it's maybe the best Switch 2 showpiece they have so far.
Wow. I mean, I'm gonna take your word for it. I don't know if there is like Mario Kart World. I think it runs at like 2K, but it is native. It's not using upscaling. Donkey Kong Bonanza is using DLSS, and not entirely sure how they're doing what they're doing with Metroid, but
Yeah.
that is, I'm sure Digital Foundry will break it down. They do a great job.
Mhm.
They also were singing the praises of Kirby last week.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
yeah, so I would
Also
think
runs really well.
I was gonna say like Kirby's one of the best looking, best performing games on the Switch too as well.
Oh yeah.
Like just when it comes to frame rate and graphical fidelity and textures and whatnot. But
Mhm.
yeah, I from my preview experience with it, Don, I agree. Like that's why I use the word performance instead of like graphical fidelity. Here is like
Mhm.
there was no hitching. Like there was no slowdown. Like it was just
Yeah.
unadulterated 120 hertz. We're coming off the Switch One where some games are struggling to hit 30. And like
Yeah.
we've talked about Cyberpunk a few times on this episode on this show recently, but like
Mhm.
I do you guys remember The Witcher 3 on Switch? Like do you remember how poorly that thing ran and how
I
shitty
remember
it
seeing
looked?
videos of that. Yeah.
It looked terrible. Or even like Mortal Kombat 1, like there've been some bad
No.
games on the original Switch. So for this to be a straddle game and to be this like showpiece, that's a big deal. I really do think that. So that's exciting. Is there anything else you want to let the folks at home know if they're still deciding if they've watched a bunch of Miles McKenzie overreaction videos and they still don't think they want to buy this game or they think it costs too much? What would you tell them?
To me, I think this is just like if you have a Switch 2, it kind of behooves you to own this game. I think it's great. Um, if you haven't played the other Metroid Prime games, it looks like they do a good job of not making them required reading to enjoy this one, which seems just like the industry standard at this point. Whenever these franchises get rebooted, it feels like every studio is like, you don't have to play the old ones to play the fourth one or the fifth one or the sixth one. There's another one of those. Uh, I kept thinking about our discussion while I was playing it of that the third Nintendo like mascot or franchise because as I'm playing through it. I'm like, man, Samus is really fucking cool. I was like, it really just might be Samus. It's like the simple answer, but
It
like she
used
has
to
so
be. I would
yeah.
argue it used to be.
Mhm.
In the NES days and SNES
Yeah.
days, absolutely, it was Metroid,
Hmm.
especially in America. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, she was. Samus was a badass, dude. Like, it was
Yeah.
that, dude, David. We're like, they reveal and Samus was like a woman the whole time. Everyone was like, holy crap! Like, this is super cool. This is like, in the
Yeah.
1980s, Donovan. Like, there's this Japanese company with like a female protagonist. This like blonde woman was this badass this
Yeah.
whole time. That was like a holy shit moment, David. Like back in the NES era, and yeah, like she really was the number 3 mascot or protagonist or IP.
I would say
Metroid
that
really
was
was.
the case until like the N64 when there was no Metroid game. Suddenly there was just this vacuum. But
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Donovan. I just wanted to say like that was
No.
definitely the case where it felt like
No.
Samus, Link, Mario, boom, boom, boom. You know,
Yeah.
you got your 3 right there.
It really does feel like this could be the start of that being the case again because she just has so many moments in this game, which the kids call it aura farming, where she's just on screen looking cool as hell, like her hopping out of the ship, the cinematic shots of her like zooming on the bike. Um, I mean, her just towering over everyone. I know Samus is like 6 foot something. Um, I mentioned it in the preview, and I think David, you told me they do this in the older games where like you can see her like her look in the visor,
Her eyes. Yeah.
yeah, her eyes when you pull up the menu, and she's just always got that like scowl on her face. Or I noticed this one, you get an even better look if you like get close to a wall and like charge up her arm cannon and just shoot it point blank, and like the light hits your screen, you just see like full Samus face in the visor, like looking at the light, which I thought was really funny. You only hear her when she's like taking damage or about to die. You'll hear her like yelling from inside the suit, and it's got like that like machine like filter over it because she's obviously in big ass suit of armor. But just cool as hell, man. And like reading that quote from Nintendo about how this is like the start of a new like era for Samus, I'm like, it'd be really cool if she just became a mainstay on this console again, and we look back and she got to have like 2, 3 video games on the Switch too. I feel like I might want to amend my answer after playing through Metroid Prime 4 that maybe it might have just been Samus all along.
I'm interested to see how this game does. Also, it's interesting because like there are usually such long gaps between Metroid games that people feel inclined to say, "Oh, Metroid is dead" or "Metroid's gone away again." But like Dread was that 2021, 22, somewhere in there? Like it wasn't that
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
long
3
ago.
years
So,
ago.
yeah, so technically this is like her second
21.
Switch game and her
21,
first Switch 2
40.
game. Yeah, so I'm hoping they just don't go a long time. Like I can wait a Zelda length of time. You know, we used to wait 5 to 6 years between Zelda games. We didn't for we did for Tears.
Yeah, we
But
did.
yeah, you know, I could as long as it's like kind of a regular cadence. And I would love kind of like Zelda, I would love to see this cadence of 2D and 3D Metroid games. You know, a
Yes.
Dread and a Metroid Prime 4. I think that would be kind of cool. There've
Or
been
like-
rumors for years, or not rumors, but like a wish list of remake Metroid or Super Metroid. You know, that'd be cool
Yeah.
to see.
Oh yeah. Yes. Please. Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
They
4K.
they remade 1 and 2, so why not Super Metroid?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. That'd be amazing.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
on this system, give us a 220 hertz. Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yes, please. And also, we talked about movie. This is a franchise that would lend perfectly to a feature film, right?
Rated R.
yeah.
How to make it, rated R for that really deep, dark space, lost in space feel.
Space horror film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
there's a film here. You know.
Yes.
Uh.
Yeah. I'll sing it to the cows come home. Give me Alien with Samus. That's my pitch. That's
Mhm.
that's my movie pitch. Just make it happen.
Yeah, you know, David, you mentioned like the cadence of like a 2D and a FPS Metroid. It's kind of like the side-scrolling Mario and 3D platforming Mario, right? They can balance the IP that way, and they can keep it fresh. I know, like we went a long time between New Super Mario Bros. U and Wonder. I know we got like Deluxe in there or whatever, but like and Super Luigi U. But like, yeah, I think you're right. Like the next thing will probably be a side scroller. And I don't want to forget Nintendo Land had a Metroid minigame.
That's true. You know, the interesting thing with Mario there is like I think they waited so long between New Super Mario Brothers U and Mario Wonder because they had Mario Maker 1 and 2 in there. So
Yeah.
that kind of filled that gap, right? It would be cool to build like have a Metroid Maker, but I don't think we'll see that because I think the world design would be a little too complex for most levels to be good. But like, I don't know. But I think I
The
would
way your
love to
eyes lit
see.
up, Asif.
Yeah, I know. Like Maker.
No, come on. Like, look, I want a Super Zelda Maker. Like,
Yes.
I just the top down, right?
Right.
Or even like the Adventures of Link, which I maintain is a completely underrated game and also should be remade. While we're at it, David, like let's remake that as well. But no, yeah, like a really well fleshed out Metroid Maker would be so cool. But you're right,
Yes,
it would be very hard to like. You couldn't make it like a whole world. It would have to be like a level, right? So it'd still have to have the constraints of the Mario Maker universe, which I think is like one of the best parts of a Mario Maker level is that you do have a limited amount of space and a limited amount of parts that you can use to make your level. And I think that informs the game. So like there's a way to do it though, man. That would be super fucking cool. And it just it reminds me of the amiibo support in the original in the original Mario Maker, how you like had these different characters that you could make levels with, or even the Zelda DLC for Mario Maker 2, where you can make Zelda levels, right? So like there's something there. That would be magical. Just do Super Nintendo Maker. Just let us make a bunch of different games. I do wonder where that franchise goes from here. Sorry, yeah, my eyes did light up because I am Mario Maker deprived right now. Like Mario Maker 2 is rather stale these days. It's a lot of those same auto scroll levels, and every Mario Maker has its
like no middle ground.
Every Mario Maker goes through this, David, where it's like a huge wave of creativity, a bunch of people copy the creativity, and then there's some speedrun levels, and then I have my swan song level, and then it's usually over. Which I'm fine with, but it just means it's almost time for a new one. Because like if you look at the cadence of the development at that studio, we just got Donkey Kong Bonanza, and we're coming a few years after Wonder. And, they ported Galaxy over and Galaxy 2. It seems like Mario Maker 3 would be a really good thing to kind of keep Mario fans excited. So Doug Bowser, 30 days. You can do it. You can announce a Mario Maker trailer. No, you're not going to do that. Awesome, man. So what was your final score on this review?
I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Giving it a 9 out of 10. I think it's pretty amazing. My only gripes were like those smaller issues. I do think the open zone is a bit tiresome to traverse. After a while, I think some of the constant loading cinematics and whatnot I could have done without, or at least being able to skip them or something, I could have done without. But I think other than that, it's pretty unimpeachable. I think it's a phenomenal first-person shooter and exploration game. I dig it. Man. I'm curious to see the performance stuff. I want to know if they put more of that in future Nintendo games. Like, what's the next Nintendo game that has a performance and quality mode and that gets Nintendo to say FPS in a direct? I wonder when that'll be.
I know. I don't know. David, it's 1998 on the N64, and they ship a 60 FPS racing game, even in 4-player split screen, to showcase.
Yep.
It was F-Zero X.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, Mario Kart World does not run at 120 FPS, but if they were to do that, if they wanted to show off the speed of the system, I know a couple franchises. I'd also throw in Star Fox there. Star Fox at 120 FPS. Cool. And with this 4K, like imagine a Star Fox with this kind of fidelity and this kind of care, right? Like those would be the two I would point out. And there's like Star Fox 64 and F-Zero X are two of my favorite games of all time. So like, yes, I'm in a cape for those, but also like if Metroid can come back, so can Star Fox. Like
I still think they're afraid of what happened with Star Fox Zero. Like the last Metroid game was Dread, which was not a bad game.
Yeah.
And the last Metroid game before that was Metroid Prime or Metroid 2 Remake, which was also not a bad game. So they don't have these failures kind of behind them to go back to. Like Other M was a long time ago now.
Yeah.
Whereas Star Fox Zero is still like just last gen. really, for them. And I feel like
Two
they're
gens.
waiting. What, the Wii U? Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I still think I can't. It takes me like, you know how when a new calendar year starts, you're still thinking of the old calendar year.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still in that like current gen to Switch One mindset. But yeah, I don't know. I think Star Fox will come back, but they have that hurdle to jump in their minds, is what I think.
And I asked the art director of the game earlier this year. I said, like, is it because Star Fox 64 is a perfect game? And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's how do you do better than that? I know how. Just remake that at 120 FPS and offer 4K 60. That's all I want. That's all I'm saying, David. It's like that game. And yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it would be impossible, but I have to believe
No,
it's.
I think a remake would be the way to go for that. Like, you start out with something people want, right? Like, I remember when there was backlash to Wind Waker. What did they do to kind of incentivize buying it? They made the Ocarina of Time GameCube disc a pre-order. They
Yeah.
give you what you really want, and then they're like, "Here's this other thing too." So I could see them remaking Star Fox 64 to kind of whet the appetite for a brand new Star Fox. I could see that.
I also think Nintendo Pictures may be involved here, where Star Fox comes back as a short before
Yeah.
we see it as a game, because I think
Yeah.
that's one of the more cinematic things they have. There's like stories that could be told there, and bite-sized stories. I think,
Yeah.
like you could just recreate the Star Wolf battles, like that first Star Wolf encounter in 64. Like there's a lot they could do there. But man, that is a great question, Tom. That might be a good Shack chat. You know what? What would be the next Nintendo Switch 2 game you'd like to see ship with 120 FPS mode? Like, I think that, and we can ask our listeners and our viewers here too. What would you like to see? What game? What franchise? Right? And I listed a couple, but yeah, obviously there's others there. Yeah, I tend to think racing, Donovan, like some kind of
Yeah.
racing game.
Mhm.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be F-Zero. It could be Diddy Kong Racing 2 for all I know, David.
Could be. It definitely could be.
But like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a larger feature there, David, that we could write. Maybe even as a staff, is like the Shack staff reboots the Star Fox franchise. Like,
That's fun.
like, because it was a very arcadey. It had like a linear kind of path kind of thing. Maybe this is something where you could add an open world element to it. Like you could actually be spacefaring, as opposed to it just being linear. I don't know. There's a lot of things they could do with it, but you're right.
Yeah.
It is. I think they have reticence about doing anything with that franchise because of how poorly Star Fox Zero was received, and it was not good. It wasn't that it made me waggle. It made me gamepad. You had to
Yeah.
move the gamepad around, Donovan, to aim, and that was bad.
Yeah. Hey, you can do that in Metroid, kind of, if you want. Like, because
Tilt
you
controls,
hold, like,
yeah.
yeah, you do like it's left or ZR they call it to like aim in, and then once you do that, you can like freely move the reticle with like mouse mode or the analog stick. But if you aim in and you just start doing this with your controller or your game, the actual tablet, wherever you're playing, you can move the reticle thing around. Not as intuitive. It feels a little weird to be stationary and do the arm like that.
Yeah.
But you can do it.
Oh wait, you can't like. Can you aim and circle strafe and stuff like that as you would expect in an FPS?
Not with the motion controls. I mean, you can aim like that, yes, just naturally.
Okay.
Yeah, you can move the thing around. If you're in mouse, you can jump and shoot and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you like do like the lock on, and then there's like a second layer of free movement within that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can definitely do what you're asking though, David. It's just that lock on has a different behavior.
Right.
Yep.
Cool. 9 out of 10 at Shacknews.
Oh yeah.
Wraps up an amazing launch year for the Switch 2 from their first party releases.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It does. It's a strong year. It'll be interesting to look back at this versus Switch One. I think this has been a very, very strong year.
I think there's
Start from-
echoes of the Switch 1, but I think it's.
Mhm.
I said last episode, like the Switch 1's release year was a magical moment in gaming history that I don't think you can just recreate. We got Breath of the Wild was like a spiritual moment for gaming. Like it took over gaming. Like every day there was some awesome Breath of the Wild clip on the internet, right? And that happened. Yeah. That continued for years. And then like, you're finally done playing Breath of the Wild. Have some Mario Odyssey, like at the end of the year, right? And then in between we had, I think it was Splatoon 2, and we had Mario Kart 8. Yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which was a banger. So yeah, like that was a fantastic launch year. But this is also really damn good. This is like a year of revivals, though, right? Like it was like, here's Donkey Kong in 3D. Here's Metroid Prime 4. Here's Kirby Air Riders. Like, huh? Okay. And then, yeah. And we had our 1-2 Switch. We had Drag X Drive, right? Like, we had... there's echoes of the Switch 1 launch here. And then, yeah. But Mario Kart World, that is a banger launch title for this system. Like, it was, I think, the perfect launch title. Like it really was. And I feel that way about Breath of the Wild as well, though. I think Breath of the Wild was the perfect launch title for Switch 1. But you look at like where they were, David, coming out of the Wii U, they had to get allegedly hardcore gamers back, right? Because they were 2 generations deep into what was considered gimmicky or baby games, right? So it was like, no. We still make bangers here. Here's the Breath of the Wild game that everyone's been anticipating. And, obviously Wii U players were anticipating that as well. And it's not like they were bad. Like, I think the Wii U gets shit on a lot. That lineup was actually quite good. Mario Kart 8 shipped on it. We got Shovel Knight first on that thing, right? Like, if you just look at, like, even the third-party things that ended up on that system, I think some of the Xenoblade games were like excellent on the Wii U. I am interested to see what Monolith Soft is cooking up, Donovan. Like that seems like the studio to watch going into next year. We haven't heard from them explicitly. We've seen them credited on other games, but like that's one that I'm curious if we're gonna get like are they gonna be like, hey, we're making a new Xenoblade game? I know they released it, wasn't it like I think it was like one of the last Switch games. They got like an HD treatment. But they're one of the more talented devs we haven't heard from yet. But good on Retro, man. This game, it got delayed because it was not good enough. This was one of those times where Nintendo came out, David. They said, this isn't good enough. We're not going to ship it. We're going to completely start over. That is the difference, man. A lot of other companies don't do this. They just shut down the studio and call it a day and take the tax write-off. Microsoft. But like imagine if they had the patience to do this with the Perfect Dark franchise. It would be great. Like I'm bummed out that we'll never know whatever the hell that studio was going to build. But like I love that Nintendo has this kind of patience and reverence for their games and the whole process of making a game, and that they know when something's not good enough. Like I think that they deserve a lot of credit for just being willing to take the financial hit, because they spent a lot of money developing whatever the previous game was, and maybe there's parts of that game's design in this game. But yeah, that's I think it's an interesting lesson for the entire industry here. Is that you can delay your game, you can restart, you don't have to just kill everything or just ship shit. Like there's another path forward. We have one bit of Nintendo news, and I figure we could talk about what we've been playing, because I have an update on one of the games I've been playing. And yeah, so talking about Microsoft, they had that big Call of Duty Activision Blizzard acquisition, right? It cost them $69 billion. And on the Q&A for the most recent Nintendo investor their earnings update, the President Furukawa said Nintendo's looking to acquire studios. So everyone's like, oh, that means they're going to buy Ubisoft, or they're going to buy this, they're going to buy that. Nintendo bought Bandai Namco Studios. Wait for it. Singapore. Not Bandai Namco Studios. Bandai Namco Studios, Singapore. How much do you think it cost them, you guys?
350.
Close. 1 million Singaporean dollars, Donovan.
Really? I didn't know that. That seems like a very low price tag for a video game studio.
$770,000.
Jeez.
What the hell?
So everyone's like, look at how Nintendo operates. I'm like, yeah, they don't try to lose money. Like they like making money, so they didn't buy a $4 billion studio like Bungie, right? Or they didn't buy a $69 billion studio like Activision Blizzard. They bought a studio that was providing them support on Splatoon 3. This is a studio that does a lot of the artwork behind games like Ace Combat 7, Tekken 7, Tekken 8, right? Like some very artistic looking games. And in the case of Tekken 8, a game that runs on UE5. And they've worked on other Nintendo games as well. So this is like a support studio, right? It's not a, hey, this is the place that made Tekken or anything. But they provide art support. And they have rebranded it Nintendo Studios Singapore. So maybe this isn't the end of their spending splurge, but yeah, in an era where you have these $1 billion deals, right? Like Nintendo's like, well, we spent $770,000 on this studio in Singapore. Watch that end up being a great deal for them, though. And also just the relationship between Bandai Namco and Nintendo is rather strong right now. They worked together on the Smash series. I think Bandai provided support on Kirby Air Riders with Sora. So yeah, they have a good relationship between the two companies. Thought that was a little interesting bit of news. Of course, it broke on Thanksgiving night or morning. That news broke, so they have no chill about this. And yeah, the deal will close next year. Interesting though. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure what to make of it because Bandai Namco Singapore being like a subdivision of the larger company, you can't really find like a simple credit, of just like, oh, they made this, and this, because like you said, they do a lot of support work. They're kind of like a bit of a Swiss Army knife, but I mean, Nintendo's usually smart with this stuff, so I'm sure we'll see them popping up soon and in an important capacity.
They do this with intention, right?
Yeah.
So there's something that they want to work on, possibly a new Smash game, right? Like maybe a new Splatoon game, right? Like there's you can look at what they've done, because Tekken 8, that's a fighting game. Splatoon 3, that's a Splatoon game. It's like you look at their track record and you're like, huh. Also, Ace Combat 7 has great art. So all these games that they've worked on, I would say, are some of the more stunning things that they've shipped over at Bandai. So yeah, I think this was done with intention, to your point, Donovan. This was not like, hey, let's do this. No, it wasn't like, hey, Microsoft bought Activision, we should buy Bungie. How'd that go for Sony, by the way? They took I think it was like a $500 million write-down on that. And Destiny 2 is in shambles right now. So guys, I shouldn't have done that. I played Ball Pit. Ball X. Is it Ball Cross Pit? Is it Ball X Pit? Is it Ball Pit?
They say it's pronounced Ball Pit. I think the studio itself has tweeted clarification on this.
Okay, it's just called Ball Pit.
I do not know why they insisted on putting the X in there, but
well, it's because it's a large part of the gameplay mechanic. Like it's Ball Cross Pit. It's this thing versus this thing. It's evolution of this. This is a problem for me. I am hopelessly addicted to this game. This game owns me so hard. Like I am fucked. It's my tabletop Switch game now, David. Like I just all yesterday, Don, or even Thursday when I had football on, I had my Switch 2 in tabletop mode, and I was playing Ball Pit. I didn't need the audio on for Ball Pit, right? So I had the game on. But man, this game is so fucking good.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I'm like, what is it doing right? Like, what has it gotten? Like, what is this equation that they have come up with? It's a brick breaker. It's a roguelite. It is a auto shooter. Like, it's like one part breakout, one part Vampire Survivors. Like
a base builder.
Like,
Well,
it's got a city builder in it, and like,
yeah.
what the fuck is this game? What kind of voodoo did they do to come up with this? This game is fabulous. Oh my god, is this game good?
There's something about it that just scratches my brain so well, and I should have seen it coming because I loved Brick Breaker games as a kid. I used to play Brick Breaker like when they ported it to consoles and stuff, but like something about just the sound design. When you get like the balls into like in between the pieces and you just watching them go do see all the numbers pop out. There's something arcadey about it that just scratches my brain in such a satisfying way.
And retro, like
yeah,
because like Breakout's one of the first video games. Like it's like truly retro, right? Like Atari doesn't exist without Breakout, right? Like Apple doesn't exist without Breakout. Like there's like the history of Brick Breakers is so long, and it keeps coming back. It's such a good genre.
It really is. I think part of what enthralls me about Ball Pit is that it's more strategic than you would think.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I think I was talking about Donovan about this last week, but like I love AoE in that game. I go for as many baby balls as I can get with AoE balls like the vertical and horizontal lightning.
Yes.
Earthquake or lasers, I should say. Anything
have you merged those two to the cross?
Oh yeah. Oh,
dude,
yeah.
that's really like good. So OP. Like when you can like merge the lasers together and then you can get another laser on top of that, like, oh man, like when all those lines are shooting all over the screen, I am just ecstatic. It is like
it's so satisfying.
It is like the limbic response game. Like it's just like, hey, do you like seeing score go up, line go up, bricks exploding?
Yep.
It is so visceral, man. Like this game shot up my game of the year list. Like it's like on a fucking rocket ship, just moving to the like. I'm like, oh no, I have a game I need to be reviewing. So like, I'm playing this game for review, but then I'm like, man, I'm like fitting in Ball Pit. Like earlier today when we were like, hey, we should record this podcast, I was like, do I have time to play some Ball Pit for the podcast? And I didn't. I was good. But like my Switch is right here. Like it's right here on my desk because like I am and my Pro controller's right here because I am not playing this shit in handheld. Fuck this game in handheld, but this is one of those things. I love the tabletop for this. This is like a perfect tabletop game for me, or kickstand version of the Switch too. Yeah. God damn it, I love this game. I fucking love this game. I love the progression. I love the character unlocks. I love everything. The replayability, the gates that it puts up for progression. It's all really good. I don't really know what the hell I'm doing in the city builder.
No.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I talked to David about this where our cities are just like a random smattering of buildings and like structures that we needed to like unlock, but there's no rhyme or reason to it all.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing there. And I have expanded outward, so it's just a big ass rectangle. My city's like a rectangle right now. But yeah, like I figured out that there's this like one building where you unlock characters. So I shoot my dude at that, and then he'll bounce off something else and I'll harvest some wheat or something. I don't know.
But other stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I do is when I get a building that unlocks a character especially, I put it right in front of where my guys stand. And then I just have them ricochet off it as fast as possible. So that way I've got an upgrade. Even if I miss some other resources, that's okay. Because if you notice during the gameplay, after you've maxed out your passives and your actives, you get a chance, like your choices for upgrading are resources.
Yeah.
Like wheat, rock, wood. And so once I've upgraded a building and unlocked a character, I just move it back. I don't need it anymore. I just throw it somewhere. And I do the same thing with buildings that upgrade your passives. Like there are certain buildings that will upgrade the
Like,
distance of AoEs. Obviously, I focus on that. I focus on the harvest timer because that way, if you're trying to get as many stuff as possible, you can harvest for longer.
yeah,
Yeah, there are a lot of ways you can go with it, but I think like everybody does some version of that where you have what you want up front and then you just move it away because you're done with it.
I fucking love this game.
It's really good. I do the same thing, David. If I sometimes I'll like, if I got a lot of resources, I put two buildings down at once and I need to build them. I'll do like one here and one there, and I'll look at the little trajectory so they like hit
Yep.
both. They'll like go up and do that. I think my favorite thing, progression wise, is just seeing all the different evolutions. I get so excited when actually I can combine two balls I haven't done before. Like,
Yeah,
Yes.
what happens if I combine like fire and ice, and it's like frostburn? Like that sounds fucking sick. Um, or like the freeze ray when you put ice with like the laser and it'll like freeze them in a row.
Yes.
fire and light was the sun. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh hell yeah. And then like you start upgrading the sun, you're like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Like, and then there's this other upgrade that you do, like, there's like the two rows, there's the balls, and then there's like the abilities. It's like one where it's like, okay, if any of your balls hit a block that's on fire, they become on fire. Like I did that at one point, and I had a ton of the little balls, and it was just hilarious. Everything was on fire. Like everything was on fire by the end of the game, and I was like, this is so much fun. Like and what I think's so great about it is it's like there is luck. There's the RNG of it, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like how that's the roguelite aspect where it's like your roll, right? Like how your run goes determines if it's going to be a quick one or not. Because it's like about 20 minutes if you actually beat a level, right? Maybe 25 minutes tops. But like there are times where you get the worst draw ever. You're done in like 2 minutes. Like it's just like the
Yeah.
game like punches you in the face. You're like, oh, okay, thank you, ball pit. But yeah, like it never makes me angry. Like I'm just like, oh, that's just bad luck. Back to it, which is a lot like Vampire Survivors, right? Like there were times where you're playing Vampire Survivors, and that's how I know I'm in trouble, because I was hopelessly addicted to Vampire Survivors, and now like here's this game, and I'm like, man, Devolver still has some bangers in the chamber from time to time when it comes to their publishing.
And they teased just this morning. They said big ball pit news coming this week. So
What on earth could that be?
I'm locked in for whatever that is. Please.
Whatever it is, I'm here for it. But my God, what could that even be?
Yeah, I'm assuming more levels, maybe more characters. My favorite evolution I have to mention. I took poison and combined it with ghost, and it created virus.
Ooh.
Which I was like, oh shit. And it takes the ghost property where it goes through blocks while still damaging them. But now with the poison, it has like a radius on it where everything it passes through gets poisoned as it just flies through, and it's so good. And then you could even
cool.
like evolve with other stuff. But when I saw Pop, I was like, oh shit, okay. Some really fun combos in that game.
My favorite, I just call them passives. The bottom row of
Yeah, yeah.
is called pressure valve, where when an enemy dies, it takes out the enemy next to it.
Yep.
So I try to aim so that I can get enemies right in the middle, and so you'll have one go boom, and then the next one blows up, and then boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so satisfying. It's so fun.
Yeah, dude.
Mhm.
That game, man.
That's my favorite indie game of the year. I'll say it. Like even more than Silksong, it's my favorite indie game of the year.
Hades 2, Silk Song, other like Expedition 33. There are Dispatch. There are a lot of indie games,
Yeah, there really are.
and they're all great. Ball Pit is my favorite indie game too. I agree, and I am shocked. I'm not shocked that I love a Brick Breaker. And the minute I played it, I told you guys last week, I played one game, I put it down because I'm like, I am afraid of how addicted to this game I'm going to become. And then the Thanksgiving weekend happened. I am hopelessly addicted to Ball Pit now. So, a week from now, I'll be wearing a Ball Pit hat and a Ball Pit shirt, and I'll be cheering for Ball Pit because apparently, what could they possibly add? Yeah, this is just a crazy thought, David, but, multiplayer?
See, I don't know if you've done this. There's a character you unlock that's actually two
characters
side by side. You got that?
Yeah.
So it's really powerful, but it's also super tricky because the Skeleton King, the first boss, it shoots waves of projectiles, and you kind of weave between them.
You have to dodge it, yeah.
It's much harder to do that with two adjacent characters.
Yeah.
I've gotten the Skeleton King with that character several times, and I cannot win because I keep getting hit by the projectiles. I can't just weave through them.
Yeah.
So I got to go back and try that and make it happen.
Yeah.
But if it were multiplayer, oh man, like I could see Amy getting into that with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like co-op ball pit would be
Yeah.
insane. And I think it's possible. I think it is possible. Like, because you have that roster of characters, like, oh man.
Yeah.
I that would boom. Like, it would just even move higher up on my list right now. But it's not just like, hey, it's my favorite indie game. It's one of my favorite games to come out this year.
Oh yeah, it's on my top 10 list, like top 5.
Like, it's how I don't know. Everything's in my top 5, but like it's insane that like this is a year where a new Doom came out. We got a new fucking 3D Donkey Kong game. We got Hollow Knight sequel, like like a Hades sequel, right?
A new
Metroid game, a new Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
And this thing.
And there's Ball Pit.
And then there's this. And I'm like, I love this game so goddamn much.
Yeah. I wondered if it would have that Balatro effect on you.
Yes!
Where, like, you try it and you like the roguelike elements plus the core concept really just like cook you.
God, yes. It has the Balatro effect. It has the Vampire Survivors effect. It is like, oh God. It got me. It got me.
It's with each passing year, man, indies are just consistently the most interesting games coming out.
Yes.
My list, I think I said it maybe offline we were chatting, and I'm just like, my list gets more homogenized every year with like favorite top 10 games of the year and top 10 indies of the year. Used to be like 20 games total, but now it's like 13, 14. Like so many of my favorite indies are just my favorite games.
We got a new Battlefield that's like awesome. And I'm like sitting here, I'm like, Bill messaged me last night, hey, you want to play some rounds of Red Sec? I'm like, yes, I do. But first, let me play another 20 minutes of Ball Pit. Like... I fucking love this game. And there's another Devolver joint that I'll talk about next week that I can't right now, but I think Devolver's having a very good publishing year. And this is just damn impressive from them.
Yeah.
Before we go, I beat Pokemon Legends ZA, Donovan.
Hell yes. That's such a nice sentence to hear.
Dude, what a lovely game. Like,
right?
I loved that game. Talk about another game that just... I didn't think I was going to put a Pokemon game on my top 10 list this year. I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, coming into the year, we knew it was coming out, but it was not on people's radars like that, you know?
No. But this, it boils down to a couple of things that we've talked about a lot on this show, but I don't mind talking about it again because, David, you've made a lot of progression in it since the last episode. Like, the gameplay loop is super satisfying where it doesn't feel stale. Right, it's, hey, here's a wild zone. Hey, you have a promotion match. Hey, here's rogue megas. You know, and then there's like the way that the promotion matches evolve, David, where you have to like do stuff to even get to the promotion match. Like, I love how that evolves, and it honestly, Donovan, it builds the narrative out. Like, as you get higher up in the ZA rankings, you're like, oh, it's very intertwined with the story. And it's an interesting story, Donovan. Like, this is...
It really is.
So, something bad happened in this region in the end of XY. Am I to understand this correctly?
Yeah, at the end of XY, it's actually pretty bleak. They set off what is called the ultimate weapon, which, like... kind of maybe killed a bunch of people in Pokemon, potentially. They're very weird about it, but they described it like it was a weapon of mass destruction, and then it goes off, so...
Yeah. So, like, they talk about that in this game, right? Like, it's like, this is a sequel to XY.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I think that's really interesting. And they talk about what happened 5 years ago, so it's 5 years later. And obviously it takes place in the city of Lumios, but I think how they resolve that storyline is very interesting. I thought the final, it's funny with these Nintendo games lately, and even Donkey Kong earlier this year, Diamond. It's not just like a boss battle anymore. It's like this lead up to the boss battle, right? So like the ending sequence in Pokemon Legends ZA is excellent, and like. Just a cool way to wrap it up. I was like, yeah, I like this. And it's like, it's very Pokemon. It's a feel-good kind of franchise, you know?
Yeah.
And it made you feel good, I guess is what I'll say. I don't want to spoil anything. I thought the final boss was excellent. I thought the design of it was excellent. The feeling of being a badass was excellent. How it tied into the story. All of it was great. And just the scope. Is that the biggest Pokemon battle there's ever been in a game? Or like, is Gigantamax
It's
technically?
up there. Well, what do you mean big as like actual scale? Yeah, I mean the Gigantamax stuff was pretty large scale. It's up there though. It's definitely up there for all like the mainline games.
It's definitely the most cinematic Pokemon game we've ever had, right? Like,
I'd say so. Yeah, out of the mainline stuff.
yeah. So yeah, I'm dancing around because I just want you to enjoy the ending, David. I think it's a lovely ending, and it was it was Friday night, and I was progressing. I got to that. There's a moment where you have like the last promotion match, right, David? Like you're about to get to A, and like it has that similar kind of lead. Like you've already encountered the Fist of Justice, David, right?
I have, yeah.
So you know the whole thing with the sewer and like,
yeah.
It's like that. There's like another moment like that where you're like, oh, I have to do this thing and then this thing and then this thing, and then you finally do the thing and you're like, oh, okay, this is interesting. It gets really interesting from there. Yeah. There were some head fakes. Like there were things that I thought were gonna happen, Diamond, that didn't happen. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the game. It is so great. It's got me caring about the Pokemon franchise more than I have in years. And I would say that Pokemon Go kind of got me back into it, but in a completely different way, right? Like that's not this. This was like an excellent.
Go get everybody to go outside and catch Pikachu again, you know.
But also, I was traveling so much back then, Diamond. It was just like, hey, I'm in a new city. I'm gonna check in at this Pokestop and this Pokestop and this Pokestop, right? Like, and my nephew and I shared the same account, so like he would see me traveling the world and being like, oh, that's so cool. Like my character checked in Japan and stuff. Like that was like a fun thing. But yeah, this is way different, man. This is and it is an emotional story. I'll just say that. Like it is an emotional story. I was like, wow, I didn't think I would actually care.
There's some like themes and messages that I thought were like really resonant that I want to talk about once David's done as well, that I would love to like toss at you guys and see how you felt about them.
Yeah.
I thought they brought the stuff with this one.
It was very well written. It's a very well written game. It was structured extremely well, and like I said, like David, you're still playing it. You didn't just put it down. Like you're actually more into it than you were last week.
I am, and it's these days, like between Shacknews, between my books, like I rarely get to finish a game. I am going to finish this game. Like I have to. I feel compelled to, and I'm probably going to keep playing it because I want to fill out my Pokédex. I want to evolve all the Pokemon. Like I'm completely hooked.
Yeah,
gotta catch them all.
I have to put the game down for now because I have this new ball pit addiction. And also, like, I need to play other games for Game of the Year consideration. And I'm reviewing a game right now. So it's like, I need to stop playing it. But that Friday, man, like, I probably played it for 5 straight hours just till I got to the end. I look up and I'm like, oh, it's 7 a.m. I don't care. It was worth it, damn it. Because I was just like, time stopped existing. I'm like, I have to finish this. I got to see how this ends.
And now, looming in the air like a anvil is DLC next week.
I know.
Oh, that's next week?
It's next week.
I think it's Friday of next week. Yeah, it's December 10th.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah. Damn. Oh, I know. And that's my favorite Pokemon. That's Pikachu, right? Like
Pikachu's well, it's Raichu is the one that's getting the
Mega Raichu.
So you can't Mega Evolve him until this DLC? Is that the case?
Yes.
Is that a spoiler?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not a spoiler. It's just that's
they marketed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is gated behind a $30 DLC.
I'm so in.
They have us so bad right now, man.
They do.
They got us for $100, Donovan. They finally did it.
This is what you're feeling now is the what we call the Pokemon fandom effect, where it's like they announce something and there's a part of it that people like don't like, and they're like, "But I'll be there," because it's like I'm having too much fun. I love this stuff too much. I'm not gonna skip it.
Yeah, they got me.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do there, and they do have a good habit with Pokemon DLC of like, there's always the paid DLC, but usually it also comes with like a title update that also just adds stuff to the base game. So I'm curious to see what is paid content and what just like gets added naturally as part of like the update that day, if anything. But I'm excited, man. I'm ready.
Um, there's this. You said this early on, Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a dialogue choice in a Pokemon game, you don't have a dialogue choice.
No, you don't.
There's this moment at the very end, like after the credits roll, where you have to,
Right.
you have these three dialogue choices, and like I picked one, and it didn't progress. Then I
Right.
picked the second one, it didn't progress, and I picked the third one. They're like, that was the one you should have picked the whole time. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, game. Why did you even put this in?
Classic Pokemon where someone's like, "Will you help me with this? Yes or no?" And you're like, "No," and they're like, "Really? Don't you want to help me with this?" And it's like, "Yes, okay, like yeah, yes, let's go, continue the
But
story."
I love that though, because like Zelda games, especially Ocarina of Time, do the same thing. Like
Yeah.
when you're a kid and Zelda's like, "Will you help me with this epic quest?" And I was just like, "No," and she's like, "Really? You won't help?" I was like, "Okay, yes,
Yeah.
I'll help." But, like,
Yeah,
I love that. To me, that's kind of a nostalgic game design. Trope,
It is,
you know?
and it's so funny because they put it at the very end, and you're like, okay, you're like, okay, fine, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I look forward to hearing. David, you're progressing way faster than I did through it. That is just hilarious. I think I was playing it, and I was like capturing music from it and stuff too. So like I would just stop and start recording from time to time. I do have some music I still need to rip. There's a. I don't want to spoil it. I'll ask you offline, Donovan. But like, there's like this one team that appears, and I'm like, is this a spoiler? But yeah. Before we go,
Team, prepare for trouble and make it double.
no,
Or is this no, not that team?
not,
Okay.
not that team.
the Pokemon franchise has done their more than fair share of nostalgia baiting Team Rocket, so they can take a
Okay.
generation off.
Yeah,
I'll
they
be back.
definitely took this generation off of that. Before we go, Donovan, you played Fortnite Chapter 7?
Yes. Okay, so they did the 0 hour event was this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and did you see this, Oscar? I think Oscar, somebody might have sent the cinematic. This was like Fortnite's like Avengers Endgame moment that they've been building to. Obviously, this game has that reputation for being like a crossover vehicle, and this was the one where they're like, all right, this because it's gonna sound silly. There is a storyline to Fortnite. There's like a lore as to why the island is the way it is and why like stuff happens and the rifts and all that that's been building for years. This was like their moment where it's like, all right, we're having the big like full scale battle, and we're calling in every IP holder that we have collabed with over the last 6 or 7 years at this point. So they have the moment where the monster's there, and Jonesy's like, "We're gonna need some help," and then the little rifts start opening up, and it's like Godzilla, King Kong, Superman, Power Rangers. The Avengers, DC superheroes popping up, K-pop Demon Hunters. Everyone's like random singers and artists that have been in the game, and then they all fight the thing, and it's like the cinematic battle. Homer Simpson's there, and he's really large and in his underwear for some reason. But afterwards, obviously the good guys win, and then you get to the new island, which is Chapter 7, and it's called Pacific Break is the name of the new season, and it's California themed. You've got like Hollywood with like the big Hollywood sign that says Battlewood because it's Fortnite, so they got to put their spin on everything. There's like a San Francisco Bay Area location with a bunch of like hills and the trolleys and whatnot and like the pier. They call it Sandy Strip, but it's just the Las Vegas Strip in Fortnite. They have their own version of the sphere where it's not even like spherical shape, it's like flat on top, but it's like this big like little creature with eyeballs that you can see in the distance blinking at you, and it's like turning around and stuff. And they've got like all the little buildings, and there's like they call it like Little Tilted, like Vegas has like the fake like Eiffel Tower and stuff. They've got like random Fortnite POIs like at the strip. They did like a whole like UI overhaul now. So like ammo reloading, weapons, all that looks different. They've made it so you can drive around the reboot vans, which were like if somebody on your team died, you'd get like their reboot card. You could take it here. You got to hold the button for like 15 seconds, and then they get resurrected. These were like stationary vehicles. Now you can get in them and drive them around. If somebody goes down, you can pick them up physically, throw them in the back of the van, and the van will start to revive them over like the span of 10 seconds, and you can drive away with them in the van. The catch being that the back is open, so if you're running from people, they can shoot at you and try to kill your teammate while you're driving. Very fun. They've added a new like ragdoll effect. Like when you go down, you just roll around and you can like roll over stuff. You can hurdle now, climb into cars while you're down. I'm liking it a lot. They added a self-revive item, which is, them taking notes from other battle royales that have similar stuff there. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm a big movie person, so I love the like Hollywood theme where we've got like Kill Bill stuff and they got Tarantino making.
Did they kill the bus driver?
Yes. This is so weird. I don't know why. Okay, yeah. So at the end of the cinematic, I left out a crucial detail. They showed the island. Yeah, everyone's having fun in the sun. It's California. They show like this massive spherical spaceship that's like looming over
like the Death Star.
It looks like the Death Star. And then the battleship comes flying, or the
battle bus.
Battle bus comes flying in, and then the ship just goes doof, and it just goes into smoke, just destroys it instantly. And now, instead of taking the bus to fly into the island, you surf in. There's like a tsunami that circles the island. And whenever you're on the battle bus, you could hit like B on the keyboard, and it would in the kill feed like, oh, Donovan thanked the bus driver.
Yeah.
Now when you do it, pay respect to the bus driver.
They killed the bus driver?
Yeah, which implies death. That's obviously an old video game meme. I think that was like one of like
press F.
Yeah. Or whatever. Yeah, press F to pay respects. Yeah, the bus driver's gone. He was just bus destroyed to pieces while he was flying it, which is a little dark, a little grim for Fortnite.
That's super fucked up. The bus driver deserved better than that.
It is just this thankless job this guy
seriously
did for years. Mm-hmm.
Driving all these assholes around Fortnite in the sky forever.
Yeah.
To get this? No hero send-off at all? No funeral? No, like, showing up at the widow's house with flowers and a letter from the president? Like, nothing.
No.
Disrespectful.
Yeah. You just find destroyed pieces of battle bus around the
Well, this week in Switch 2, we honor you, bus driver, and I always thanked you when I could remember the button. I'm so sad. I'm so sad about this, Donovan. I was like, you can't kill the bus driver. Like, I wanted it to be like G.I. Joe, David, where there was like, you saw a parachute come out of the bus, so you knew he was okay. But no, they straight up killed him.
Yeah. I have a feeling the bus itself will return, but I don't know what we're going to do about the bus driver, man.
The bus driver better show up in Chapter 8. Like, there better be this amazing return of the bus driver. Like, it's gotta be the world's ending again, because Fortnite, every freaking season, the world's ending, right? And then this time, the bus driver appears and saves the day again or something. That would be the way to handle this. But man, I was shocked. I was like, no! You can't kill the bus driver! Like, you can't do that! You can't get away with this! Tim Sweeney, you've gone too far, Tim Sweeney.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah.
Been fun.
Fortnite, obviously a Switch 2 game, out on PC also, but it's everywhere. It is, yeah, it's fucking Ready Player One at this point, Donovan. It's everything.
It is.
It's everything. It's the metaverse. There are now Unity games that are going to ship in it. Like, talk about world peace, David. Unreal and Unity in the same universe? Like,
I know.
That's wild. That's wild. Mm-hmm. Like, Tim Sweeney walked out on stage at a Unity event to announce that. And it was like, he didn't get booed. Like, it was just like, people were like, whoa, this is really weird. But yeah, it's talk about crossovers over crossovers over crossovers, Tom. This is just, it is postmodernism, the game.
It is, yeah. And I saw an interesting statement from one of the design directors, I don't remember his name, on Twitter over the weekend, where he said that with Chapter 7, they had like a sort of a mission statement that they wanted to get the game back to like Battle Royale basics, which I thought was interesting because Fortnite has kind of gotten out of hand. As much as I love it, you do get in there and it's like, what is even happening in this game at this point? So I thought it was interesting. The map is like maybe like 10% smaller this time. They're kind of incentivizing those engagements. I know they've removed a lot of like the bot enemies from Battle Royale. The weapons have gotten back to being a bit more grounded. It's mainly just, assault rifle, shotgun, submachine gun, sniper rifles. Then there's like a couple of like silly weapons. But I think that's interesting. Just that idea that they kind of want to rein it in a little bit. Obviously, they're not going to stop with collabs and IP and stuff. But I'm interested to see what they're doing. And winter event should be weeks away, which I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I saw Ozzy Mejia got his first victory royale this weekend too. So
Yeah.
home field advantage maybe because he's from Southern California.
Yeah, I feel like him, Greg, like they're like obligated to play this.
Well, Greg's from Soul Calibur, so if they ever have a if they ever have a Soul Calibur crossover in Fortnite, Greg will be there. Or Ghostbusters. They've done Ghostbusters before.
Yeah, so they have done Ghostbusters, but it's been like 3.5, 4 years since those skins have been back in the item shop rotation, which was far before Greg gave Fortnite any sort of respect. So he doesn't have them. So he's been waiting for those skins to come back.
I saw the DeLorean in the trailer, and the DeLorean was also at the after party that Ozzy was at. So like, it seems like some of those '80s movies are showing up in this season.
Marty McFly is in the Battle Pass, and I got him. And not only is Marty McFly in the Battle Pass, the Nike shoes that they made for Back to the Future 2, which is my favorite of the trilogy. I love BTTF2, is in the game. You can get them, and they do the little like lace up thing where you go down, you press the button, and they like tighten up. That's pretty cool.
And the pink hoverboard is in this season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, kudos to Epic Games for doing the craziest shit ever and continuing to do it. They're the best at this point. This game as a service, a whole platform for a game, a game that's an engine. Like, it's wild to see where Fortnite has gone. And yeah. Well, I think that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for reviewing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. That wraps up, I don't know, the most Nintendo reviews you've ever done in a year.
Yeah, it's been really fun. A very cool privilege and interesting adventure, right? Because I did Donkey Kong Bonanza, Dragon Drive, Kirby Air Riders, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Pokemon Legends, Zeta A was obviously the big one for me. I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
5.
You missed out on the biggest one, which David got to review, Welcome Tour.
Yes. Yeah.
And obviously the biggest one of the year, Metroid or Mario Kart World, which I'm sure someone will review at some point, right?
Yeah. I've heard that might be around the corner.
Maybe. If I can stop playing Ball Pit long enough. Now I'm like, okay, we have to record our deliberations for the Shacknews Awards. I have 13 minutes. That's not enough time to really play a good amount of Ball Pit.
If you do fast mode and then put the speed up on the 3rd setting, you might be able to rip through one, but it's going to be tough.
Nah. Should I just try to play it while we... No, I can't do that.
Your honor.
Can you imagine if I just have...
I have judges playing Ball Pit.
Like, I just plop it down in front of me and you see me looking down the whole time. You're like, what is he looking at?
Oh gosh.
You see it in my, like, reflecting in my glasses.
Yeah.
No, I won't do that. That is a disrespectful thing to do. But yeah, we're gonna go hydrate and maybe try to eat something before we record more video content for Shacknews. But yeah, like, follow, and subscribe. Review us. We'll be back next week to give you another update on how many days are left in Doug Bowser's Reign of Terror. I will have a game that I can talk about. I really, really, really like this game. I can't talk about it, but I will be able to next week. And it is a game that is coming out on Switch too. So there's your hint. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.